Greetings. Welcome to In Conversation with Trevor, brought to you by Heart and Soul Broadcasting Services. I go beyond the headlines and beyond the sensational. Today I'm in conversation with Craig Chimtengo, founder and creative director of Mr Rocca, based in London. If you enjoy this conversation, remember to subscribe, to like, and share. Let's get down to some work. Hey, Craig Chimtengo, welcome to In Conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I feel special today because this seat, a lot of great people have sat on it. So I feel so honored.
You are special, and to be honest, this is an opportunity for us to honor you. You're doing amazing work. You're doing different kind of work, and I thought there's going to be some young person out there, or even an adult, who's going to connect with certain aspects of your journey. So I'm really looking forward to you sharing that story. But shall we go to the name, Twist? Where does Twist come from?
Over the years, I had to take that name off because it had negative connotations to it. When I was growing up in primary school, I was so skinny. And my teacher read the story of Oliver Twist. And then he said, he was like this guy, like how skinny I was and hungry and asking for more. So over the years, people started calling me Twist all the way to like my adult life. And then when I was building my brand, I realized like, no, I don't want to be associated with that because
Oliver Twist,
yeah, it's not me anymore.
Yeah.
So I had to take it off.
But I found it somewhere. I don't know where I found it.
Because some people still call me that, and I had to keep reminding them, like, no.
I'm not Twist anymore.
No, I'm not that.
Craig, you are the founder and creative director of Mr Rocca, based in London. Premium bespoke tailoring house that services a clientele in London, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa. What do you do? What does your work involve?
In a nutshell, I solve rich people problems.
Aha.
Yeah. I make bespoke tailoring. The thing is, most people have a problem when it comes to dressing. So I'm just addressing that. The reason why I started this is because when people are wearing clothes, usually they don't fit them and they don't feel uncomfortable. They feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So the essence of bespoke tailoring is I have to come in and hear the challenges that you're facing by just dressing. And then I take your measurements and then we discuss the journey, like where you are right now and where you need to be. Because at the end of the day, when Adam ate the apple, it became illegal to be naked. So clothes are part of us on our daily basis. So why not wear them and feel comfortable wearing them? So I make suits and I make shirts and I concentrate on that niche. Yeah.
And how do people come to you, or you look at Trevor and say, oh, he doesn't dress very well, I think I can improve his image? Talk to me about that. How does that relationship work?
People come to me.
Okay.
I sell to people that have a need. I believe in problem solving.
Right.
So I need to be solving a problem. So if you don't see that you have a problem, I don't need to be coming to you.
Okay.
You have to realize that you have a problem and you need help. Then I'm here to help you.
But can't you say, I'm thinking, you're looking at some leading personality, CEO, and you're looking at the way they're dressing, and I'm like, I mean, he could look better.
Yes.
And represent himself better. Let me find a way of reaching out to them. Is that another way of reaching out? No?
So 3 things involved, right? About 2.5% of the population in the world are innovators. And about 13% are like the early adopters. And then we've got the laggards and everyone else. So I usually target the innovators and the early adopters. Those become my salespeople.
Right.
So there are people like you yourselves. You believed in me earlier on in my journey. So if I dress you well, then you become a salesperson, and then everyone else starts coming up from you.
That's interesting.
So I only concentrate on the innovators and the early adopters.
That's interesting. And you when just go back and tell us, when did you get the sense that fashion is what I want to do? When was the earliest moment you got that sense that this is what I want to do in life?
There's a story behind it. When I was born, we were born in Glenora. My father was a hotel manager, Sheraton back in the day. And then a few years after I was born, he decided to move to Malawi. So we had to sell our house and, relocate to Malawi. And when he got there, things didn't work out the way he had planned it. So he was jobless. And then my mother started doing second-hand clothing. This was like in the early 90s. So, Shemabero, like now, yeah. So every time she would go to get these Mabero and bring them in, I was exposed to all that, because when she's selecting, I could be the first person to pick the best outfits and then keep before she goes to the market. So over the years, I became so exposed to it. And then, so the journey is based on 3 aspects: purpose, passion, and profit. So now my grandfather was a tailor. So I'm a first generation immigrant into this country. When he came in the 50s, in the 1950s, the first job that he did was a coat maker. So he was a tailor. So part of it is innate, which is the purpose. And then the passion now was brought by my mother, because even though we were struggling, but like what Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots looking backwards.
Yeah.
Like the situation that we went through, to the point that she had to survive and start selling secondhand clothing, she was exposing me to clothes. So from an early age, like 6, 7, I was bringing together outfits. And then, over the years, I went to the UK. I couldn't get a job. I did not have papers. So the only thing that I could do was to become a self-employed, and then started styling. So I had to sell to people like, what, I'm a stylist. I can help you style and help you do personal shopping. Because when I used to go to church, people would be like, you look great. Like, where'd you buy your clothes? I say, yeah, I can help you do the shopping for you, and so that's the journey.
It's a fascinating story, Craig. And leaving to go to London, what were you going to do in London initially?
So I used to work at Miko's Hotel at the reception. And I felt, because I was exposed to this luxury and this wealth, all the people coming in, I felt like there's something more, there's something better out there. There is something. I couldn't pick it, what it was. And my cousin just said, you know what, you might as well come to the UK and, just change the environment and see what you can do. Well, years before then, Coventry University came to Harare, and like how they look for students.
Yeah.
And I got a half scholarship at the time with Coventry University, but I couldn't get the money for the rest of the scholarship. Like, they would pay half, and then you had to pay half. So that opportunity went, but it lingered in me. And then my cousin brought me to the UK now. Again, after a few moments, I didn't have my visa because I was a visitor, so she just said, just hustle, just do what you can. But I think it was an opportunity. The biggest gift the biggest blessing of my adult life was not having papers, because if I had, I would have just done a regular job. But because I didn't, I had to survive. And then I started digging into myself, like self-purging, like, what am I good at? So I went through a journey of, I had dreadlocks, I was vegan, I was reading a lot, I was off social media, trying to find myself, like, who am I as a person? Until I got to the core of, like, you know what, this is me. This is what I do effortless. So why not get paid for it?
You went to the London College of Fashion.
That's correct. Yeah.
Talk to me about that journey.
I went there because I know that people always ask, like, are you experienced? Like, are you educated in this? You know, so I went there just for validation, but I already knew the gift that was in me. So going to London College of Fashion was just to polish me, to prepare me into the space of my target market. But really, what I learned is just the polishing, but the gift was already in me. Yeah.
And how long is the course, the London College of Fashion course?
It's about a year. So it's broken down into styling and personal shopping and all sorts.
So how long have you been doing this job now?
To be able to be paid for it, it's been about 5 years.
Okay.
But this has been my life, like, from the jump.
This is something you love.
Yeah. Like, I've been trying to deviate from it, but it keeps calling me. It's not me. It's innate. Yeah.
Well, what do you enjoy about what you do?
Adding value to people's lives. That's all. It's not really about the money, but I like adding value. Like, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you act better. When you act better, people pay you better. So even when you're negotiating your business, when you're looking good, you're most likely to get that deal because you feel great, you look great, you're more confident. And that's just what I do. I just add value into your life. So I'll be just helping you, like, the psychology of outfits, the psychology of color, like why you should wear a red tie instead of a blue tie, and why you should carry yourself in this way, and why suits are so important in your journey and in your life, regardless of what stage you are in. Everyone has ambitions, but clothing makes the man. Nothing transforms a man quicker than a garment.
Wow. You've been featured in GQ, and you've made it to Forbes 40 under 40. That's big recognition. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was really a milestone. I always say, just put in the work. Don't chase awards, don't chase nominations. Just put in the work, and then the work will proceed.
Somebody's going to notice what you do.
Somebody's going to notice. Anything that you do, whatever you do, there are people watching you, and there's a market for it. So just concentrate on the product, just put in the work, and everything just falls into place. I mean, here I am now. Yeah.
And looking sharp as always.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How much effort do you put into looking as sharp as you do? I mean, every time I see you, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, you just look amazing.
Because I'm the brand.
You're the brand,
yeah. So every time I go out, I have to look sharp. Because, again, that's how I meet my clients. Every time someone compliments me, like at the airport, I give them a business card. And that's how I've been making business. So every time I have to be conscious about what I'm wearing. I know it takes a bit of time, but over the years, you know, the clothes communicate. Like, every time I open my wardrobe, I'll be like, okay, who is going on this jet with me today? And then I just put things together.
Talk to me about that process of putting things together. Some people say, you know, before going to bed, you select what you're going to wear depending on what the day is like.
Yeah.
But I tend to be the person who jumps into the shower, gets into the wardrobe, and start looking around. How do you do your wardrobe selection?
You should have what's called staple pieces. So a lot of people are so obsessed about having walk-in wardrobe, like a room full of clothes. It's not about that. You should have your staple pieces, right? That you can play around with. Like, for example, if you're a businessman, maybe your gray suits, your blue suits, like different variations of blues,
Yeah.
different variations of grays. White shirts, striped blue shirts, and a few ties. So anything that you're gonna pick from there, we'll just do.
I see.
You are a businessman yourself. You don't need to be thinking about what to wear in the morning because your schedule is already, hectic. So what we try is to narrow it down so that when you wake up in the morning, whatever you're gonna pick from your wardrobe, we'll just do the job. Yeah.
Craig, we're going to take a break here. And when we come back, don't go away at home. I want us to go to your decision that you're going to dress me and how difficult a person I am when it comes to dressing up. So don't go away at home. See you on the other side.
When you are in a leadership position, the way you look plays a big role.
Welcome back to our conversation with Craig Chimtengo, otherwise known as Mr. Rocca. Craig, you and I had a conversation, I think about 2 years or so. You said, can I dress you? And I think you've struggled dressing me because I push back, I'm conservative and so forth. I must be one of your difficult clients. Talk to me about, be as honest as possible, how difficult this man is.
You are,
Yeah.
But again, I love challenges.
Yeah.
You are very conservative. You come from a certain generation. And again, the reason why I picked you is because you're an innovator. You are the torch bearer to where I needed to go.
Okay.
So in as much as you were difficult, you were the one that would make me become who I am. Right? So I'm actually glad you're wearing pink right now because you like your your Dow colors. And then I think I remember my first shopping for you, I added like some red trousers or something.
Yeah.
Just trying to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Because it's a journey again. It's not an overnight thing. You have your own beliefs, you have your own how you grew up dressing, and then now I need to take you to the other side.
Yeah. How am I doing?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing great.
You saw the other 2 episodes I was putting on the combination that you got me, and
Yes,
the response has been good. But
really?
I must say I'm struggling to fit into that. So
it's a bit tight.
Yeah. No. It's struggling. Is this what I want to look like?
Okay.
But the wife has been saying no. Let's go that way.
It's the journey.
Yeah.
Because I'm here as a bridge to take you from where you used to be and where you need to be. So there is always pushback. That's why we've been together for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it's a step-by-step process. And I'm sure the reviews are coming in.
They're coming in.
Yeah.
They're coming in. So who are your clients? I get the sense these are high net worth people. Just break them down for me. Who are your clients?
Okay. Most of them are quite, I can't name drop.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but the
No, I mean in terms of profile.
profiles.
Yeah.
Politicians, lawyers,
bankers,
a lot of board members. That caliber.
And these are people that are pretty clear that they want to make an impact through the way they dress. They care about how they look.
When you are in a leadership position, the way you look plays a big role. The moment you walk into a room, the first 3 seconds, people already judge you based on how you look. So regardless of the position that you're in, you still need to appear in a certain way.
Yeah.
For example, if you look at most Fortune 500 companies, their CEOs are like 6 foot. Most US presidents are like close to 6 foot or more. It's a psychology, like the taller you are, you have presence, right? but I'm short. So what do I do about that? How do I appear as a great man? How do I appear like the person that knows what he's doing? I have to wear like striped suits, because the human eye looks at things from top down, left, right. So when you're wearing a striped suit, you look more taller because I'm looking at you like this.
That's interesting.
So as a leader now, when you show up in a certain outfit, it's 70% done. So if you're a businessman, you just walk into a room, dress nice, the deal is done 70%. The moment you open your mouth, you're closing already. Yeah. So even, again, like what I said about the psychology of color, you don't just wear any tie just because that's your favorite for that day. It communicates. You look at people like Donald Trump, whenever he wants to talk about something that shows that America is the great nation, he's in a red tie. Putin is the same, he wears a red tie. But when he's more relaxed, he's in a blue tie. Obama is the same thing, he wears a gray suit when he wants to relate to people more. But when he means business, he's in a certain suit. It's all psychological. So those are the people that I need to help and improve and add value into their lives and make their message be communicated the way they want to be.
Let's go down back again to the services that you offer: personal shopping, styling, wardrobe editing, bespoke. Talk to me about some of that stuff.
So bespoke tailoring. Okay, this is
you brought some stuff here.
Yes. So this is more of the catalog, but it's called a swatch. So what it is, I do the consultation first. Like, why do you need this service? Why do you think you need a suit? And what do you use your suit for? Again, I need to add value into your life. So if I don't see any value that I'm bringing in, then it might not be the best decision, because this takes time, takes a lot of money from you. So you need to be very clear why you need to do this. After that, I show you the fabrics. Like, you have to touch them to feel it. Do you resonate with the fabric? You know, and then once you pick your fabrics, I show you the linings. What lining would you like? You start picking on the lining. Some of my clients,
lining is like the inside stuff, yeah?
So you have people that will be like, oh, this reminds me of my granddad, so let me have it. Recently, I did one of my prominent clients. His totem is Shumba, so he said, "Can I have a lining of Shumba inside?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I had to put like a Shumba inside the jacket. We pick the buttons. What buttons do you like? The stitching, every aspect of it. So you feel like you're part and parcel of the process. So by the time I deliver the garment to you, it feels natural, you know. So it's the experience. It's not really about the product itself. It's the experience that you feel.
And the experience that you enjoy doing, isn't it?
I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah.
and I enjoy it.
Right.
I can do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the personal shopping aspect is, again, buying clothes is one thing. Wearing them is a different ballgame altogether. Most people just think you can just go into maybe a Gucci shop and just pick stuff and then you just wear. But again, these shops or these high-end houses, they have what's called a house cut. And when they're making these garments, usually they don't have people like you and I in mind. That's why you find that a red bottom shoe, a Louboutin, will be costing you maybe £1,000. But when you wear it, it's so uncomfortable.
Yes.
You wear it 20 minutes, you'll be like, I need to take this off. Because your feet, or our feet as Black people, are so different to their target market. So even with the suits, they don't have us in mind. So now I have to look at your body type. Okay, you're an inverted triangle. So the clothes that fit you should be in a certain way. I have a client recently that said, you know what, I never, she's a lady, right? And she always wears shirts and trousers.
I didn't realize you do ladies too.
I've just started doing power suits.
Okay.
Like just for ambitious corporate executive women. So I make power suits.
Okay.
So she said, for years, for the longest of time, I was never confident of tucking in my shirt. because of this area. I'm conscious about this
Yeah.
area. So when I made a suit and the shirt, the waist was like made in a certain way that it covers this area. So it was like a high waist.
Yeah.
When she wore it, she was like, wow, like this is a game changer, you know, because I had to understand her struggles and her body type. So now when she wears the suit, she looks better.
Yeah.
You know, unlike when you are just picking clothes and just wearing them, don't look good. So that's the service I provide of personal shopping. Like say, okay, you might not want suits, but maybe you want t-shirts, maybe you want jeans. So I have to help you, like which are the best jeans for your body type, for your lifestyle, for your day-to-day living. Wardrobe editing now, again, it's like you've got this whole walk-in closet of clothes. Most of them, you don't wear them. So what are they doing there?
Take them out.
So we start taking everything out and then start putting the staples, which can cover only this part. But that's what
you need. That's what you wear every day.
Yeah. So it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So.
You've already hinted on, you know, African bodies and what about doing the African attire like the Nigerians, the West Africans do? Is that something that you're comfortable with, or you haven't looked into that?
No. Yeah, I like I said, my grandfather was a coat maker, was a suit maker. So part of my DNA is the conservative, executive style. So that's what I just concentrate on. Again, it's all about niche marketing.
Yeah.
I can't do everything. Yeah, I will leave that to other guys.
We'll take a break there, Craig. When we come back, I'm sure people out there want to know more about you, where you were born, where you're raised, and your struggles as you grew up. So don't go away at home. See you on the other side.
I was so distraught, like I was so broken.
Greetings. My name is Trevor Ncube, host of In Conversation with Trevor, Zimbabwe's most engaging conversational show. I go beyond the headlines and beyond the sensational. We've brought before your screens change makers from arts, business, and politics, and from the region. Please join our growing community of viewers. Subscribe, like, and share. Welcome back to our conversation with Craig, Mr. Rocca. Craig, so you're based in London.
That's correct, yes.
Would you ever think of coming home to work from home? What are the advantages of working from London?
When it comes to fashion or even business, certain areas are known for certain things.
Yeah.
So it's the tradition and the culture that I'm pivoting on.
Right.
Yeah. So if you see, like, my suits are British cut. So I still have to keep myself grounded on that. That's the value that I'm adding into your lives. So if I were to relocate, I might disconnect. Yeah. So for now, I still need to be grounded.
Your competition for me has been these guys coming from Asia, who call from Hong Kong, from India, and saying, "Can I do a suit for you?" Are you making inroads? Are you grabbing the market share?
So far, yes. Yeah. Like this jet, you remember I was here in December?
Yes.
I was overwhelmed with orders.
Wow.
So now I'm back to deliver those orders and then take more orders and then go make them and then come back again.
So clearly business is good.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. Again, it's more repeat purchase and referrals. If you, at the moment, if you have noticed, I don't do aggressive marketing. My clients are my salespeople. You know, because if you're into bespoke, if you like a bespoke suit, definitely you hang around someone who would like it. And then it keeps going like that. And then it moves. I've already met a couple of people that say, "Oh, we understand that Craig does styling for you. Could you refer to us?" So your name is making the rounds in the circles that matter, and you're getting the traction. That's correct. Yes. Because this service is not for everyone. that niche.
Craig, let's go back to your upbringing.
Yes.
Where were you born and which schools did you go to?
So I was born in Glenora, and I went to Ruveneko Primary School for like 2 years, grade 1, grade 2. And then when my parents decided to move to Malawi, I had to go to Kwadzana to stay with my grandma. And then things didn't work out really well. And my mom was like, you can come to Malawi. So I went to Malawi and I did my grade 3 and grade 4. And then again.
Which school in Malawi?
It was in Area 23.
Mm-hmm.
And when I
Blantyre or?
In Lilongwe.
Lilongwe.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. When I came back, I couldn't speak Shona anymore. So.
Do you speak a bit of Nyanja?
Yeah, Chewa.
Chewa.
Yeah,
okay.
Amundinye.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some of it is,
Muyankura.
Yeah, in Mayankura.
In Mayankura.
Yeah. So, and then I came back grade 3,
mm-hmm.
and then I went to Kwadzana 4 primary school,
mm-hmm.
till grade 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I did very well, but because we couldn't afford, better education, the closest school to a private school that I could get was Harare High School. So I said to my mom, I need to go to Harare High School. And remember at the time we were living in Kwadzana, Harare is in Mbare. So I had to commute from Form 1 to Form 6. And my mom could do all that because of selling. Like she never had a formal job. It was just the day-to-day struggle of Kwenomsika and all sorts. And growing up in the ghetto, we had nothing. All we had was clothes. Playing around clothes like the whole time. We're just exposed to trying to make ourselves look better. Because that's all we had. So at least if I go to town dressing nice, it might give me like a bit of an edge over the other guys from uptown, even with the girls.
Yeah.
So, so that was the exposure. But again, I grew up with my grandma. And
how was it? How tough was it? Talk to me about that.
It's traumatizing.
Yeah.
I believe that the way we move in life, or the pace that we move with in life, is based on 2 things. What's chasing you and what you're chasing. And my upbringing is really like chasing me. So every day of my life, I try to live as far away as possible from how I grew up. So I knew I needed to be on the other side, because this is not me. This is not normal. When you have to have like 1 meal a day and your mom is not around and grandma is already struggling. So all those frustrations, they are put on you. So you have to come up with a plan. You have to come out one way or the other.
And after Form 6 at Harare High?
After Form 6, again, I couldn't go to university. So I had to get a job at Michael's Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So
what were you doing at Michael's Hotel?
Housekeeping.
Okay. So
I was working housekeeping. And then I started working as a kitchen porter, like doing the dishes in the kitchen. And then a job vacancy came for a switchboard operator. And then I applied. At that time, I was doing marketing college. So whatever money I was being paid, and then I had to enroll for marketing course just to, improve myself. So again, when the job opportunity came for me to work at the switchboard, I applied and I got it. And then years later, another job came at the reception, and I applied, and then I started working front office. But what became the tipping point, I always tell this story, like there's a guest that came, I think they're coming from Russia, hunters and stuff. And I was checking him in. And he gave me his card. And he said, he's checking in. So I tried to run his card, his credit card. And it couldn't go through for some reason. I don't know whether it was the network or whatever it was. And then I said to him, your card is declined. I think, insufficient funds or something. And then he looked at me in the eyes and said, "Can you look at that card?" And then I held it in, like an American black card, American Express, the solid one. And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "You can't have that card if you don't have £1 million in that account. So, and you're telling me I have insufficient funds, so I can't check in." I wasn't exposed to these things, right? So here I am thinking like, so people actually have this money and I don't even know about it. And as soon as my manager walked in, he saw me holding that card and then he just went straight to the guest and said, "Check in, don't worry about paying, you'll pay when you're checking out." I was so distraught, like I was so broken. Like wow. I felt so humiliated. And from that moment, that was my turning point. Like, I need to change my life. I need something. I need to do something with my life. And from that very moment,
What did you do with your life then?
I started calling my cousins. Can I come to the UK? Can I do something? And fortunate enough, they agreed to it. Again, all those journeys from the time. Oh, I forgot to mention that when my dad went to Malawi, he couldn't get a job, right? And he was involved with some bad company and he was locked up. I get emotional talking about this. So when he got locked up, he died in prison anyways. Yeah, after years. And I remember I went to see him. I was like in grade 3 at the time. And then he said, "Are you praying for me?" And I said, "No. Like, you did some stupid stuff. Like, why should I pray for you?" And that was the last time I saw him, and he died. So, yeah, sorry, I get a bit emotional.
No. You're okay for us to go on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So from that time, again, what's chasing you?
What are you chasing?
It's all about 3 Ps.
Yeah.
Right. Like my life is based on the ethos of 3 Ps, which is the purpose, the passion, and the profit. So I had to figure out what my purpose was. So I went on this journey of, like I said earlier,
self-discovery.
So I found my purpose and I aligned it with my passion. And I had to figure out a way of how I'm going to get paid for my purpose and passion. So
to tell me now, very emotional and I'm sure it touches a lot of people out there. There's going to be a lot of young people who are in the same space.
Yeah.
That you've been in. What guidance do you give to a young person in Glenora struggling? What words of encouragement would you have for them?
Find yourself.
Know yourself.
Just know yourself.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lesson of my life. Like, I should have started what I'm doing earlier.
Yeah.
This whole thing of going and doing marketing and doing all these things, sometimes it's a waste of time. I should have just started my journey earlier.
Yeah.
And whatever you are doing, just try and find yourself. So it's called self-purging. So you are like an onion, right? So the more layers you peel out, you end up getting to the core. So start peeling yourself, start asking yourself the questions. And everything that you ever need in life, you already have. It's already
inside you.
It's inside. Like, don't look outside.
What's the process of finding yourself? I mean, what does it look like? Talk to me about that.
People have different journeys when it comes to, finding themselves. Mine was going vegan to start with. So I was vegan for like 4 years. I started growing my hair. I had dreadlocks up to my back here. I started reading a lot. Like right now, I have a whole wall of books and stuff, just reading. I didn't have a smartphone. So I had like, to call them drug dealer phones, because I was just trying to
Figure
myself.
out.
Yeah, who am I as a person?
Mm.
And then I had that eureka moment. How it happened is, just how I post on my dress up, post. And then this guy messaged me and said, you know what, you dress so nice. He was based in Zimbabwe. He's called Tubelise. He said, you dress so nice. Can I buy some of your suits? I was like, really? And he said, yeah. And then he went on my Instagram, he took screenshots and he said, I want these suits, the ones that you're wearing. At the time, I didn't have a job, I didn't have money. So I was like, if I sell these suits, then I can have money to buy more suits and then dress up again. And I sold him for $80 the suits, and I had to ship them. That was the day I realized that, so I can make money from what I love doing. And that was it. Like I never went back from that. So going back to your question, it's all about finding yourself and stick to it. Whatever you're doing, start early.
Interesting that I get the sense that for some people, that moment where you're finding yourself could be a moment where they go the opposite direction. When you're going vegan, when you're growing your dreadlocks, that could be the moment when somebody goes drugs, goes a different kind of life. Is that a fair way of looking at the other angle?
Yes. So 2 things. The situation in your life, your upbringing, can either break you or make you. Some people are so unfortunate that they're broken by it. And I'm lucky that I was made by it. It made me. It made me into a better person, because I always knew that there's something out there. So you see, like, situations of like my dad being locked up in jail, and not growing up with my parents. Some people get broken by it to the point that they won't find hope. So they get into drugs because it's a coping mechanism. To me, my coping mechanism was reading to find myself.
For you, it didn't break you.
It made me.
It made you.
Yeah. It made me.
Why? Why that difference? Have you reflected on that?
So right now, I'm very clear. I know myself. That's why I could tell you, Trevor, like, the way you're dressed, you need to improve on this, because I know myself. I know the value that I add into people's life, regardless of you being a CEO or you being the president. I am the voice in myself, in my craft, because I found myself and I'm very confident about it.
Yeah. You're also very generous. Every time you come, I look forward to you coming because you bring me something. Today you brought me this book, which was mentioned by Precious Ncube when she was here, and so I'm very grateful for this. I think this is the second book that you've brought me, and quite a number of beautiful stuff that you brought me, including suits and stuff. You're a very generous and humble person, and for me, that says what you are chasing is bigger than where you are right now.
That's correct.
Yeah. What's the next big thing for you?
That's a very difficult question,
Yes, I do, which is why I asked it.
Like I said, I'm very clear. My vision is very clear.
Yeah.
Where I need to take this brand is very clear. If you look at all these big houses, LVMH is like the richest company in the world. But Louis Vuitton has been there for hundreds of years. Gucci has been there for hundreds of years, So my goal, nothing comes between me and my brand, not even myself. It's all about the brand, and it has to precede this life, like just go beyond this generation. So what I'm building right now is for the next generation.
Mr. Rocca.
My dream is to see myself on my great-great-grandson's family tree. Like, this is the guy that started.
It's a great thing to be a big ancestor, leaving a legacy to the people that come before you. Your grandfather did the same thing for you.
Yeah. And I took it further. So I'm hoping that the next generation is going to take it further. Again, what's more important is when I'm servicing you, right? Even from my price points, even from how I invest into the fabrics and stuff, is your suit should last you at least 20 years, 20, 30 years. You should be able to bring it back to me when you gain weight. I do the alterations. When you lose weight, I do the alterations as well for you. It's a journey. It's the whole journey, right? It's the whole experience. So if I go out of business, then it means your investment is, you've made a loss on your investment. So the suits that I sell, they're an investment.
They are beautiful pieces. Well, you do something else which is beautiful, philanthropy. Talk to me about you've got a project here at the moment in Zim. Talk to me about that project. What do you do?
So we have a foundation called Stenom Foundation with my partner Ruth. It's about social entrepreneurship. If you look at Zimbabwe, there's a lot of unemployment going on, and most people are just looking out to get employed. But we need to look on the other side. Like, okay, how about if we create the jobs ourselves? Mm-hmm. Okay, so our foundation is not about helping people start businesses, but helping them grow the businesses. So what then happens is, let's say you are into selling, right? If we help you to grow that business, it means you're gonna need another person to help you, which is someone in your community, right? When the business starts growing again, you're gonna employ another person. So let's say you're doing chicken business, you've got 100 in your backyard. If we help you through the knowledge that we give you, the marketing and all this expertise that we can provide to you, and you grow your chicken to 1,000, it means you're not gonna do it on your own.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need 2 or 3 more people that are in your community, maybe your cousins, your friends. And then if people continue doing that, then we can start curbing unemployment. Now we're creating jobs for ourselves, and it's also part of skills development. So you now know how to grow chicken, which means no one stays permanent in your life. So the person that you've employed here 2 years, 3 years later, they're going to start their own business, employ other people, and then it keeps going. So that was the idea. And then also, we need to start concentrating more. So the foundation concentrates more on skills. If you go to Form 4, before you make the decision of going to A-level and to university, which we have seen that it has failed, a lot of people here are educated. They've got degrees, but they're still looking for a job. So the moment we were targeting the 16-year-olds, like, before you get to this point of going A-level, how about you look for a skill? Look for an apprenticeship. Learn how to be a plumber. Learn how to be an electrician.
Learn a skill of some sort.
Learn a skill of some sort, because COVID has proven that the only people that survived COVID were the ones with the skills. Everyone else, these accountants, these bankers, were at home. But
plumbers,
we still called electricians, we still called plumbers, So how about we start doing all that? And it also emanates from my upbringing in high school. I was in the second best class. So I did technical graphics, which is more like architecture and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the people that were in the last classes, they did agriculture, metalwork, and woodwork, because they were perceived to be madofo. So these skills were shunned, to say, I need to madofo and metalwork and woodwork and stuff. But we need to start making them mandatory. Like, everyone needs to learn a skill.
But those are skills.
Those are skills. Yeah. If you have something in your hands, even the Bible says,
what do you have in your hand?
Yeah, exactly. And God blesses the works of your hands. Of your hands, not of your boss's hands, of your hands. So there is that.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best with that, Craig. Craig, what a story, hey? What a story, what a story. When you look at where you are and where you've come from, what goes through your mind?
Too much is given, too much is expected. So there is more.
There is more.
Yeah, I feel like, I have to carry the next generation. But again, what's more important about what I do is empathy. I really need to care about you, Trevor.
Yeah.
For me to deliver what I deliver, it's about connection. I mean, we've been together like 2 years, right? And many of my other clients as well. It's because of empathy, because I really care. Even though you pay me, but I really care about you, right? So once you add value into people's lives, you become unstoppable. And then also, there's a bit of luck in it. Like you need one or two people that believe in you, and
we all do, isn't it?
You need that one,
yeah.
And you are one of them. Champun Chwans is one of them. He has put me in spaces that I can, that's just it. You need that person.
Absolutely.
That believes.
Craig, what a conversation. We're going to go to books now. Thank you for this book.
Yeah.
By Cheryl Sandberg and Adam Grant, Option B, recommended by Precious Nika. Do you have 2 or 3 books that you want to recommend to our book-loving audience out there?
Yes. The first one is Outliers.
Mm.
Michael Gladwell.
Yes.
Yeah. Which talks about why are great people great? Why are certain people unique?
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one is Talent is Overrated. I can't remember the author, but it also talks about talent is not enough. You need to put in more work. That's what separates the great. Talent is like table salt. It's everywhere. But the hard work is what separates.
The attitude,
the discipline, is what separates the greats from the rest. The third one is The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. It's a game changer.
The E-Myth.
The E-Myth Revisited, yes. It talks about systems, how to create systems in the business. If you look at our business, like Black people, they don't go further than one generation because we don't have systems. If I die today, my business dies because there are no structures. So the E-Myth talks about how to create a system and how to scale the business. Yeah. Can I add one more?
Sure, absolutely. We love books, eh?
Yeah. 0 to 1.
Oh, right. Yes.
By Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
That was a game changer as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great books. Wow, Craig, thank you so much for coming through, agreeing to sit there. Not lots of people agree to come and sit there, hey? But thank you so much for coming and sharing your amazing story.
I feel vulnerable right now. Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I do. That's what I do, and that has an impact on the people that are out there. The people do connect with you. People connect with your story.
Yeah.
And it does things to people. It inspires people. It makes people realize if Craig can do that after what he went through, I can also do that.
Yeah.
So you have no idea what favor you've done to a lot of people out there. So thank you very much, Craig. I'm going to add books that, we had 2 books that we launched last week. One from my former boss, Jeff Nyerota. The Journalist is an Outcast. I went through the book. I recommend the book. Jeff was my boss at the Financial Gazette when I was his deputy editor. So that's a great book out there. And an alumni for In Conversation with Trevor, Dr. Divine Simbindlugula has just released this book, Entrepreneurial Success, Insights on Growing Business in a Fluid Economy. Again, I've read the book. I highly recommend it. We love books. Keep them coming. Craig, thank you so much. And thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being authentic. You are authentic. That's who you are. Remain sitting there, Craig. Allow me to tend to our viewers who are all over the world, who make this show what it is. Remember, we are a weekly show. We are out every Monday, 7 a.m. Central African time, to ensure that you don't miss out on any of these quality conversations that have an impact on a lot of people. Remember to subscribe, to like, and to share the content. We see your comments below each episode, and we're grateful for that engagement. We've gone a step further, by the way, and created a website where all our content sits for your viewing pleasure, and in there sits our podcast. Go in there and click and listen to our conversations. Until next time, thank you for watching. Cheers.